Hey guys, welcome to week 6 of Respect Your Elders. Pretty good week last week. You know, I know we ended last episode saying like we're not going to bring up the elders. Like that's not honest. Of us.
We got to, be transparent. That's what we're here for.
It's just not very fair to the people.
Right.
If we're hiding statistics. So
exactly.
Let's take a look at those versus elders standings. Oh. It looks like there's not even a 50%.
It does seem to be that someone at the top may or may not have won against an elder this week.
Huh.
I think the guy that lost, he did rank his opponent number 9.
Wow.
And then he lost.
Anyways, let's jump into last week's.
Why don't we start off with the Hungry Hush Puppies versus the Abilene Woodpeckers?
Yeah.
That was a barn burner.
Yeah, that came down to it.
Down to Monday night. Miller able to pull out the win. He kind of took a page out of Garrett's book, did the sub 100 head-to-head win.
Yeah, especially against Aaron. Aaron, first time not hitting the median.
He's going to be kicking himself. I mean, he had a lot of projected points left on the table. But yeah, I mean, credit to Miller. He got the win.
But yeah, then jumping over to you. Red Rain versus the Unknowns, number 1 versus number 4.
I think Garrett's team, there were some scheduling mishaps there.
Yeah.
I think someone got the calendar wrong. I mean, I came in, I took care of business.
Yeah, I mean, you put an end to not only the head-to-head streak that he was having, but also the game 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering if he big-brained this. We already know that Garrett's real good at those low-scoring games, and then on Thursday he saw you with one player get 51 points, and he's like, all right, guys, let's move on to next week. Don't even worry about this week. We'll save those points.
Yeah, I mean, and if that's the case, if he comes out the gates next week and he snags that head-to-head win, maybe even gets a median, then I think it might be worth it in the end. Let's kick it off to your game, Trade Station versus the Bad Boys. Yeah. Alex, he got a median win.
Yeah.
And
finally,
a loss to you. You scored a lot of points.
It's like everybody scores their highest score against me, which he did. So yeah, I was real nervous. Came out swinging. Got a top 10 all-time score, so that's fun.
Yeah, love those.
Yeah, and I also noticed the only times that I've won is whenever I score 170.
I mean, it's usually a pretty good strategy.
I may have cracked the code. Those 2 times is whenever Saquon and Chubb were on my bench.
Well, if you want to just hand them over to me, I'll take care of them.
I don't know. They might screw your head-to-head up. So I'll take the hit. Keep them on my team.
I mean, he's got to feel good that at least he got the median out of it. It would have been rough to score 112 and then go 0-2 still for his team.
Then we got number 6, What'll It Take versus 7, AC1 Purdy. Or should I say Stroud? What is he? He's just throwing off his whole team dynamic there.
I mean, everyone knows you got to stick with one quarterback. Quarterback controversy kills team momentum. Yeah. You got to stick with your guy. And for God's sake, it's your team namesake. You can't just sub him out willy-nilly.
Exactly. And not only did he sub him out, Purdy was a better quarterback.
Yeah.
So he really double screwed himself, screwed up his whole team dynamic. Chase gets the W, which is real scary because Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor didn't break 5 points, and he was still able to get 104. It's scary. It doesn't look good for Justin Jefferson, but
yeah, it kind of sucks for Chase. He finally gets JT back just to lose Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
So that one's got to sting a bit.
Just missed the median too. He was close.
Just tough luck for Chase this year. That really does suck.
Yep. Then last one we had Mahomes improvement number 2 versus Antaji Football team number 9. Yeah, that one also came down to Monday Night Football. Jacob had a 5-point lead.
I think maybe the fantasy football gods were shining down a little bit on Jacob's side. Aaron Jones with the late not going to play. Everyone seemed to be pretty confident up until literally like Monday morning, and they're like, "Hey, just kidding, he's not playing."
Yeah, that's gonna be fun for Chris.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Chris got to watch Sunday night. Jacob only got 5-point lead. He's like, "All right, I got this." And then Monday morning, he's like, "Oh, I don't have this actually." But Jacob gets the 2-0 first time since week 1 that he even had a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to feel good for Jacob. He got back on track against me, but he didn't get the win and just missed out on the median, unfortunately. But this week gets a little bit more, goes up to 120, gets the 2-0. Maybe his team's, it found its mojo.
He was a top 3 scorer this week. Actually, I think he was 3, 2, and 1. So we had. That's the Elders top 3. That's pretty neat.
Love an Elder trio.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's jump into the standings, though, see where the movement was. You and Chris not moving at the top.
Yep, we're comfy.
And then Alex got the win, or got the median win, doesn't move at the bottom, and Miller doesn't move. Chase, not moving.
Wait a minute. Are you abandoning Chase?
I thought Chase was going to move with me. and hold hands with me, but it's Alex's fault.
Oh, it's Alex's fault.
Yeah, he would have moved with me if Alex didn't get the median. So Chase, we're both mad at Alex. Let's get him. I jump Garrett and Aaron. They both fall one spot. I'm up to third. Jacob swaps spots with Colt. Jumps Miller. Colt falls below Miller. So after Colt's lovely week against Miller, doing all of the things that just screwed with Miller's team, right back underneath him.
That's not going to feel good for Colt. It is what it is. But Jacob, right there on the cusp of that playoff seed, he might be one to look out for at late end of the season. He might be making that late push that everyone doesn't want to see.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I dropped down to 8th, and I've been climbing back up ever since, and he one-upped me, dropped down to 9th. He wants to make the longer climb back up.
Yeah.
Which, funny, the only people that moved up were elders. So that's pretty interesting too.
It's interesting.
It looks like you actually didn't have a spot to move up to, so
Yeah,
that's
I mean, if
why.
I could go up, I am 10-0. I could just stiff arm Chris a little bit, just get a little bit higher.
Yeah, exactly. Chris with the hilarious meme, by the way. That's so good.
Yeah, no, that one was solid. I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right, yeah, jumping into week 6, we've got number 10 Bad Boys versus number 8 Abilene Woodpeckers. Alex averaging 67, not great, but Miller averaging below 100 now, 99.
Yeah, it's not great.
This is also Alex's only winning record against somebody else, so pretty big news for him. He doesn't want to lose that.
I don't know what the heck happened to Mir's team. He started off the season pretty hot.
And Alex coming off of doubling his average score last week up to 112. Miller not doing great last week. Alex would have blown Miller out of the water this week.
Yeah, I mean, Mir got that close head-to-head win, but I think he's going to have to bring more to the table than that. Last year, Alex went on that streak where he, won 3 games in a row or whatever it was.
4 games.
Yeah, so maybe that's the streak for this year now.
Yeah, maybe. Next up, we got number 6, What'll It Take versus number 5, The Unknowns. That's a close matchup right there in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, this is back-to-back weeks now of Garrett fighting some high-end rankings, trying to prove that he belongs up there.
I mean, you broke his head-to-head streak last week. We'll see if he was holding those points for this week or not. Chase with a couple injuries that he's going to be battling through, so could be a close game. Right now, Chase averaging 107 to Garrett's 84. Not super close, but their matchup history 1-1, 99 to 96.
And we all know Garrett in a head-to-head sub-100 game, that's a scary place to be.
Yep. Their rankings, Chase put them at 4 and 8, but Garrett put them at 6 and 7. Garrett sees them as neck and neck, and they are currently neck and neck.
And we all saw what Chase did in year 3. It took him 3 years to get that team turned around. He started off that season 5-3. Garrett in year 3 starts off 5-3. His best start to a season yet. So maybe there's a little bit of magic. I mean, Garrett saw the blueprint that Chase put down. He's like, I'm gonna do that.
Yep. It's like the what is this? Third time's a charm. Nailed it. We got number 1 Red Rain versus number 9 AC1 Purdy. Maybe? I'm assuming he puts Purdy back in.
Yeah, I mean, after last week, I feel like you got to stick him back in. Head-to-head, not very close. Colt does score well in these games. Not good enough, but he does score well overall. Obviously, I did rank him 10th, so there is a potential grilling happening here. It would be really unfortunate for me to get my first loss and get grilled in the same week. That just doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, that's a double penetration right there.
Yeah, which usually I'm a pretty big fan of, but I don't think this week I'd really want to do that.
The average scores pretty far apart. It's a 44-point difference.
I don't think either of us have any major bye weeks on the table, so it should be a full-strength matchup.
Then we got number 7 Pandashi Pubo team versus number 4 Hungry Hush Puppies. That's a pretty close right there. Jacob trying to get in that top 6.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob's starting that climb back up. He's trying to. This would be a big marquee win, as they say. Aaron
has always been the epitome of consistency right in the middle. Maybe he just didn't feel comfy up there. He wanted to get back down to the number 5 area where he has just lived. Matchup history: Jacob 5-2, average score 128-117. Big high score though.
Yeah, I mean, strong performances on both sides. Just Jacob, edging it out. And then when you look at their the preseason rankings, not too far apart, honestly. No. I think this could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins, but I'll be pulling for Jacob to try to get him back, get the Elders all in the playoffs. That brings us to our last one. This is going to be Trade Station, number 3, versus Mahomes Improvement, number 2. Chris, nail biter lost to Jacob. has to go right back into another Elder Showdown. Points for this season, both of you guys doing great, 135 to 120. You've had 2 170 plus games. That's ridiculous. Chris, watch out.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get another one because Chris has scored between 112 and 128 every week. So we just know Chris is going to crack 130 this week against me.
Yeah, I mean, if the trend sticks to it and he has his best week of the season, that's going to suck for you.
Yeah.
If we take a look at the matchup history, 4-3, solid score from Chris. I mean, 115 is nothing to shake your dick at, but I mean, your 128 is just a little bit better.
Like I said last week, he only has 2 losing records in his matchups, and it was Jacob and me. So back-to-back weeks against those 2.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. And then, I mean, you look at the preseason rankings, you guys pretty much on the same page.
Yeah, Chris, you ranked me number 1, so I mean, you want to be right. You don't want to be wrong. That would be so embarrassing. So
That would be embarrassing.
well, that's pretty much all we got for this week.
Yeah. Honestly, it might be time for us to start maybe sending out another survey, kind of do another rankings, kind of just compare to where people think people are now versus what we had.
Get a little feedback action, maybe some apologies from some people.
The closing words here should just be, I hope to shit I don't get grilled. 'Cause that would just be fucking the worst.
Yeah. No.
And Colt, don't think just because you're having a kid this week that I have to take it easy on you or anything. If anything, you should be taking it easy on me and focusing on the kid.
That's true. Yeah.
So-
And congrats, by the way.
Yeah, awesome. Hope they're all doing great, but lose your fantasy game for me, please.
Don't pay any attention to it.